ladies, hi goddesses, hi beautiful, beautiful people. How are you? I know it's been so long since I've been here. I was actually thinking I'm going to start with the vlogs and just like make the vlogs only. But then today I had this thing that I really needed to say. But yeah, there's a lot going on, which I'm probably gonna get into once it's sorted. So I'm trying to sort a few things out. But I am so good. I have missed YouTube so much. Well, I miss making videos, but we'll get back to that. So if it is your first time coming to my channel, thank you for clicking on this video and welcome to the family. So this is a safe space for everybody. Please do comment, like, subscribe, and share if you know anyone that would actually enjoy my content, which is a very diverse content, by the way. Anyone who would enjoy my content, please do share, and the more subscribers the better. Okay, so I've actually been wanting to make this video for quite a while. And so as I was still saying, the reason that I actually wanted to make this video is because as I have been on this journey, well, on a lot of journeys, because obviously life is a journey as well. That sounds cliche, but just hear me out, okay? So as I've been having my day-to-day life experiences, interacting with people, talking to my friends and things, I actually realized, which also, guys, I can't emphasize how important it is to actually have support system, have friends that are in the same journey as you, have friends that want the same things as you in terms of, what they want to do for themselves. So I was speaking to to some friends of mine, and then I actually realized that as women, or like as people, I'd say like as people in general, there's this thing that we do that we actually are not aware of, and which we should be really careful of, because we shouldn't be doing it. I know it's like it's just by default, it's like you're not aware that you're doing it, but you actually are. And that is neglecting other parts of you because of a certain journey that you are on. Oh, you know what, I actually had a conversation with someone, and I noticed, like, from that conversation, what I'd actually noticed is, in my healing journey and my journey of femininity, my journey of growing, my journey of becoming the woman that I want to be, and all of that, I had actually neglected some parts of myself as a woman that I should be embracing, because I was so busy healing and on the spiritual journey, on the femininity journey, on the level up journey. I don't like using that, but you know what I mean. The level up journey. I've been so busy with that I actually left and neglected some parts of what makes me whole as a woman, if that makes sense. Some part of what makes me whole as a woman. And I'm so glad that I actually figured this out now, because I was going to be so frustrated and so confused. Like, I've worked so hard on myself, but I'm still having a problem in this certain part of my life, and I would have actually had to start all over again. So with that being said, the message that I have for you, actually what I wanted to say with this quick video, is that be very careful when you are on a certain journey, or like when you are on certain journeys, because it's different things that we're trying to work on at the same time. Please be very careful that you do not neglect other parts of what makes you a whole, what makes you whole as a woman. Please do not neglect the part of you that makes you whole as a woman. Do not neglect the part of you that gets angry. Do not neglect the part of you that makes you fun. Do not work so hard on being the elegant lady, working so hard on being the feminine guru, working so hard on being classy, and you actually let go of that inner child, that made you so much fun to be around. And do not let go of your sexual side as well as a woman, your wild side, your sexual side, your freaky side. We all have different sides. Women are actually multifaceted. So what that means is you don't have to be boxed and be a good girl that is feminine and that is classy and that knows how to use a fucking knife properly or knows how to tie her hair properly or her makeup or whatever. You also have so many. You can still be that same good girl that is kind to people, is punctual, always on time, is well presented, and all of that, soft, sweet, fluffy stuff. But then also you can also be a woman that is opinionated. You can be a woman that has kinks, that is a sexual being and embracing sexuality. Don't be scared of sex, right? That is all I'm saying. Do not be scared of sex. Do not be scared of a side of you that loves sex, a side of you as a woman that needs sex, a side of you as a woman that finds pleasures in certain things. And also another thing is that, as much as we are busy with, usually, because I know this is how it happens with most people, because these journeys, it's like it's a sequence, if yeah, I think that's the right word. Anyways, but these journeys, it's like you're gonna start with one and then one will lead you to the next one. And sometimes, like some other people, you decide to start all of them at once, right? So you decide to, connect or center yourself and be more in your spiritual, natural state that you as a human should be in, if that is making sense. You want to you want to start a journey of connecting to nature, being spiritual and things like that. You want to start that journey, but also you want to start a journey of being hypergamous, a high value woman that is feminine and that is soft and that is not a feminist or trying to fight against men. And then with you doing all the different types of journeys to better yourself and become the person that you see ideal, or like your future self, the one that you actually look and that you envision, and when you envision, you're kind of like, I did good. For you to actually be able to not have anything left out, I am going to give you tips on how to do that, because after I actually, and that's another thing, going back to journaling, spirituality, self-awareness and things like that, is that after I had that conversation, I actually had to sit down with myself and I really took a good look at myself and the stuff that I've been doing, and I'm like, I have been neglecting this side. I have been neglecting this side. So if you are on a feminine or level up journey, femininity journey or level up journey, don't neglect the spiritual side, or like don't neglect the sexual side of you. Don't neglect the side of you that is career driven and ambitious and is willing to push whoever and get as rough as it gets when it comes to the boardroom. You don't have to box yourself in one thing, and you don't have to work on one thing you don't have to work on one thing and then when you feel like that is perfect, which will never be, by the way, you're gonna move to the next thing, which is why I actually started a lot of things at the same time, which has been a work in progress. So the tips that I have for you on how to make sure that you actually don't leave any side, because I know sometimes, like I was saying, you get so you get so busy because you've started all these things that you're trying to do to actually better your life and better yourself, that you could sometimes, plus you still have a life outside of your journeys. You still are a person that needs to live a normal life and lead like a normal everyday life. So I know that sometimes you can actually sleep up in terms of, keeping in track with everything, sleep up in terms of knowing, okay, I do this and I do that. I'm going to make sure that I'm able to do these things at the same time, start these journeys at the same time. So after I did actually have a sit down with myself, I saw that this is what is gonna work for me, and I've actually tried it for a few weeks and it's been amazing, amazing, amazing. Hence I'm actually here sharing it with you ladies. So number one, first things first, of being able to make sure that you don't forget anything, or like in terms of your journey and what you're working on, especially if you're working with more than one thing, is you first need to decide which journey is more important for you. Is it the femininity journey, or the level up journey, the hypergamous, or is it the the lifestyle journey? Is it like the lifestyle journey, you being more healthier mentally, physically, emotionally? Is it the healing journey, you healing your inner child, healing your past traumas from wherever, or is it your more vixen side, as I like to call it? Or is it your more vixen side, or like your B side, where you don't want to be mean, but you want to be able to set boundaries and not feel bad about them, which is like, that is actually a result of healing, but it's like a different journey altogether. So you prioritize first which one is the most important to you. The reason that you're doing that is because when you are continuing with this list that I'm going to give you, you're going to know that the most important thing is this, and you have your reasons why. You can write your reasons down, you can just think about them, your reasons. And then after you have prioritized, you're going to say, okay, so you are going to start with the most important. Say it's three things: most important, middle, and least important. I'm not saying least important because I am saying there's stuff that is less important when you are working on yourself, or like becoming the better version of yourself. There's no stuff that is less important, but you know what is needed now. Like, what do you need now that is like the most important thing, which usually it starts with, healing of the inner child and some shadow work and things like that. And then you can then move to other stuff, or you can do it at the same time. So usually, because my one was healing of the inner child, healing and shadow work, which that was like the first thing that I was like, okay, this is important. So you're gonna list those things, and then after that, for the full month, what I want you to do is, for an example, if you're working on 4 things, right? If you're working on 4 things, I want you each week to work on the first journey that you want to be on. Work on the first journey. So dedicate this week into, say you are healing as a start. Dedicate this week into healing your inner child, doing the shadow work, doing all these stuff that we find online on what to do, understanding it better, connecting, and doing all of that stuff. And then you are going to schedule this in a way that, so after writing your list, you are going to schedule it in a way that it is very flexible. So how you do that is, you're going to start, like I said, you start with 1 week, you do one thing only in 1 week, do one thing only, and then the second week on your schedule, choose the second item, like the second journey. Choose the second journey, and then after you've chosen it, you make majority of the second week for that specific thing that you chose. So for an example, if for the second week you're choosing femininity, femininity, right? You want to work on your femininity and connecting with yourself as a woman, blah blah. So second week, what you're going to do is the whole week you're going to be doing the femininity, and then scheduling. So say out of 7 days a week, 2 days of that 7 days a week will be for the inner child healing, something that you had started. I'm not saying that you've stopped, because obviously when you start in inner child healing, there's going to be certain things that you're going to have to do on a daily basis, which is, that wouldn't even take 5 minutes of your time. But I'm talking about thorough. Maybe you've got material to read, or you've got something that you wrote, maybe notes that you wrote down that you just want to go through, whatever. You're going to dedicate 2 days of the week doing that. And then third week, again, that's what you're going to do. Again, you choose your third item. You spend majority of your week focused on the journey that you want to be in and the item that you have chosen. And then also take a portion of that week. So when you're taking a portion of that week, you're not saying that on the 2 days where you are busy with your femininity, you're going to forget your inner child healing. No. You are saying you are going for the whole week, you're going to be doing femininity, but then some of the days you will add inner child healing. Just like you're going to do it for the third week. Third week, same thing. You're going to dedicate majority of the week to the two that you've started already, which is the inner child and the femininity, and you're going to dedicate a few days of that week to the third item. So you're going to dedicate you're going to dedicate a few days of that week to the stuff that you've actually started before, right? The stuff that you had actually started before, you're going to dedicate a few days of your third week to that stuff and the journeys or items. And then on the fourth week, that's how you're going to keep doing it until, trust me, it takes 21 days to build a habit. And by the time you finish doing it the way that I'm telling you to do it, it's going to be a habit, and it's going to be like, no one is even going to tell you, and none is actually even going to have to remind you. And if it happens that during that time where you're trying to like work on the schedule, you get distracted, there is no problem. You can actually start again. That is the nice thing about the journeys and stuff that we do to work on ourselves, is that there's no pace. No one is pacing you. No one is saying rush because of 1, 2, and 3. It's all up to you. You can either start again or continue from where you left off. But I like starting again. Like, I just like starting from where I starting again if I get distracted with the plan that I have. So it is very advisable to get stuff like, the notebook. You get the notebook to be able to jot down everything. You get like calendars and planners so that you are able to actually plan and have your calendars and stuff there. And then you get colored pencils, you get all these stationery things. You get colored pencils, you get your sticky notes and all of that, so that it is attractive and you're able to look at it and be motivated to continue. So that is actually what I wanted to speak to you guys about, because I realized that when we are focused on with the way that things are happening now, having all these things that we're doing, working on ourselves, and also having to lead normal lives outside of the journey, whatever the journey that you're on, it can get overwhelming. And it's like, next thing you're gonna miss today, tomorrow, the next thing you're not dedicating time to your spiritual work anymore, or like you're not dedicating time to your reading, if like you had been on a journey of trying to be more well-spoken, or whatever it is that you're doing. Next thing, it's a week, it's 2 weeks, you have actually dropped it. and it feels, and it has happened to a lot of us, even me, like it has happened to a lot of us, where you start something and then you just drop it because it gets so overwhelming, because you've got so many things that you need to do. You've got a life to lead outside of, you know, your journey and everything. So that's all that I wanted you ladies. I wanted you ladies to always remember, and don't be afraid to write everything down, write stuff down, because it works, really does. Anyways, so I didn't want this video to be long. This is just a quick video that I wanted to upload, because this has been bothering me. Like, my god, I'd been so busy on on certain things, and I kind of neglected some things that I was actually supposed to be focusing on, and which is now I'm working on. And I was like, but you know, when I speak to other people, it's not like I'm the only one, or like this has never happened to them. It's like a thing where we start something and we can't really finish, and it's not because it's not our fault, it's our fault, sorry, or like we're inconsistent or we don't want to, but it's because it gets so overwhelming when there's so many things. So yeah, I really hope that you ladies are still very good. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and do subscribe, like, and share. So yeah, enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.